Hi, friend. Welcome back to my News PH channel, where I bring you the latest and most exciting news about the newest additions to the Philippine military.
Be strong.
The Philippine Coast Guard, PCG, on Tuesday said it needs P90 billion to buy 30 flag-bearing ships, as it tries to boost its capacity to patrol the South China Sea. Currently, both India and Japan are ready to assist the Philippines with additional White Langbum ships with various options so as not to burden the Philippines at the time of acquisition. At a Senate budget hearing on the Department of Transportation and its attached agencies, Philippine Coast Guard Commandant Admiral Artemio M. Abu said the ships would cost about P3 billion each. "We need the Coast Guard's floating assets to increase to serve each regional office we have," he said, adding that P90 billion is a modest estimate. "We need funds to establish more Coast Guard bases and, of course, acquire assets and facilities for our own people." He said the Philippine Coast Guard's 15 regional offices need about 2 large ships each to carry out their operations. Under the proposed 2024 national budget, the PCG was allotted a budget of P24 billion, with its confidential funds unchanged since 2009 at P10 million. Senators have been pushing to increase the budget of defense agencies to boost Philippine maritime security. Senator Ana Teresia N. Hontiveros Barakel earlier said the PCG should get as much as P600 million in intelligence funds to help it deter China's aggression in the disputed waterway. Senate President Juan Miguel F. Zubiri vowed to back funding requirements for the PCG and the armed forces of the Philippines, whether it be confidential intelligence funds or funding that will give you proper equipment for your needs in the West Philippine Sea. The Philippine Coast Guard receives additional support from the national government as it recently took out a successful mission to remove barriers in Panatag Shoal in the West Philippine Sea. The idea of providing the fleet with additional large white-hulled vessels is once again coming back into the picture, with the aim of increasing its presence and endurance in sustaining patrol and escort operations in areas within the country's exclusive economic zone. The Philippine Coast Guard played a very essential role in ensuring presence in the West Philippine Sea, as this is the lawful way of enforcing its absolute right of patrolling the area surrounding the Calayan Island Group following the 2016 Arbitral Tribunal ruling that provided the victory to the Philippines as it nullifies Chinese claims in the area. Now, as tensions mounted and maritime patrols intensified, adding more white hulls for the Philippine Coast Guard to use are getting justified every single day. Earlier last January 2023, the Philippine Coast Guard expressed its desire to gain an additional 5 more 97-meter multi-role response vessels, Teresa Magbanua-class MRRVs, from Japan, as this intention has discussed by the PCG Commandant before his audience of the delegates representing JICA or Japan International Cooperation Agency, led by its president Dr. Tanaka Akihiko. This is the latest in the series of modernization efforts surrounding the Philippine Coast Guard's fleet composition since the addition of the newly gained vessels like the said 97-meter multi-role vessels that currently came with two units, 10 1044-meter Parola-class vessels that also came from Japan as the Teresa Magbanua class, and the BRP Gabriela Salang, OPV 8301, from France's OCEA. The PCG Commandant continued his explanation that by having additional Teresa Magbanua-class multi-role response vessels in the Philippine Coast Guard, The Maritime Law Enforcement Agency may now have more vessels at its disposal that can conduct maritime domain awareness operations through constant patrol of the country's territorial and EEZ waters, rescue operations, and other functions that promotes the country's economic growth and development through maritime security. Having additional Teresa Magbanua-class MRRVs in the Philippine Coast Guard, to take notes, may increase not only the presence of these ships in contested waters like the West Philippine Sea as it augments the smaller Parola-class MRRVs, but also has the capability of long endurance and loitering time in offshore waters, which is ideal in countering ongoing Chinese Coast Guard aggression in the area.